In the early stages of building an agency, one of the number one problems that agency owners have is understanding what the problems they have actually are. And so in this video, I did what we call an agency hot seat with one of our students who currently has around 6 clients, and he's looking to scale it up. And he had a bunch of questions in regards to organization, landing more clients, how to be more efficient. So in the next 20 minutes, you're going to hear what I have to say and probably learn a lot of golden nuggets along the way. So enjoy what you watch because you're going to learn something. See you on the flip side. You have 6 clients, I think it said?
Yeah, 6 clients, 4 prospects.
All right, so 6 clients. You want to offer something different. You basically want to be able to have, from my understanding, an offer where you could say, hey, I can like literally get you a new customer as fast as humanly possible, which would be different than what other agencies. You're trying to like stand out, right?
Yeah, that's right. I want to go as fast as possible from closing someone after the CQI towards a new customer, especially if we're going for lead gen. I have some ideas on how to do that, but essentially, I think like there's tools that exist like Leadsy and GatherUp where you can just like get access quickly. Most of my clients are general contractors, so they are very difficult to work with. In the sense that they're not tech savvy, which is essentially why they need us. But
yeah,
they're always super busy. It's always like a very difficult time to get access and the whole thing. But I'm finding the same thing with most of my clients. So I found about Leadsy, which is probably something else, but I'm just wondering if there's anything out there else that I could use. And the problem I'm finding is like, it's not, I think it's the new shiny object. There's always something new. This industry is insane on how much stuff there is. My mind is going off the hook. Like since I joined LNB, it's insane.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't really be too concerned with speed. I mean, speed is always good, but there's also reality, right? And so, you know, there is, if you're staying in the same, like if you're working with contractors, then you could duplicate what you've done for a previous contractor and be a lot faster than most agencies or most people they've ever worked with, just by being able to duplicate a sub account that's in the contracting space. And so you could have the assets duplicatable rather quickly. Now, what services are you providing to your current customers now?
It varies. Some is lead gen, some is reputation management, some is social media management, just posting content that they send me, and managing websites as well.
Okay.
Essentially, yeah.
And so, like reputation management, the result is more 5-star reviews, right? So that's that's a quick win that they can see rather quickly. Obviously, it's going to depend on them giving you a list of their customers, which is not always the easiest thing in the world. So there's that downtime of that. Lead gen, you know, you got to get up the Facebook ads or the pay-per-click ads. But if, you know, you could get up pay-per-click ads fast as hell for somebody. I mean, it could take you an hour to do it, depending on how many times you've done it before. And then being able to duplicate a landing page and just swapping out the logo and whatever their offer is. Right. What makes you think it's slow? And then when you say speed, like, do you mean like speed for the client, or do you mean like you're looking like, I don't know what Leadsy is. I never heard of it. Let me look it up.
From what I understand, Leadsy is I think it's Jason that talked about that. It's essentially a service. You have to pay for it, and then you request access for different stuff like Facebook page and all that stuff. It creates a link that you send to your client and to request access, and you just click on that link. And
so that you could get access to their Facebook page and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Instead of having to like log in and like, what's your password and, you know, Zoom call and
then the Zoom video and the whole thing.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so that would be like a tool that you can use to get fast access. Have you tried to use that already?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, so that could solve one of the problems, right?
Yeah.
Essentially, ultimately really is about prospecting and getting more clients and landing more clients at a higher price point, right?
Yeah.
We could talk about speed and getting them results fast, but ultimately when you're first starting with somebody, you start with like a rep management and then upselling them. Have you tried to upsell any of your current clients?
Yes.
And how did that go?
It goes very well.
I'm just going to jump in here really quick and we'll get back to the video. One of the things that he mentioned in the beginning was CQI, and then he is now talking about upselling his current clients. And as he said, it's going really well. That's because of the framework and the process that he is following. If you want to understand the foundations and how to follow this framework, look at the description down below. If you jump on a GoHighLevel trial, we can give you these foundations. It's a 30-day free trial. Everybody's using GoHighLevel, whether you're just starting an agency or have an agency. You could always upgrade to a higher plan if you want all of these free trainings that I have. The link is in the description or in the first comment down below. I'll probably ask you to make a comment and send you a link as well. And that link will lead to an explanation of everything that you'll get. CQIs, trial closes, onboarding closes, and an actual framework that you can follow and stop just kind of throwing garbage against the wall. So if you're interested in that, check it out down below after the video and enjoy the rest of the video. Okay.
So far, it's as soon as you get results and the value is right there.
Yeah. So give me an example of like walk me through one example where you got them in on one thing and then they bought more things from you.
One general contractors just make a website.
Mm-hmm.
And then I talked about the reputation. You got to get more reviews. So set up his whole Google business profile from the get-go, got it verified. He sent me a list of customers. And then he asked, could you recruit more people? I need a painter and I need a carpenter. So we did Facebook ads for recruiting people. And in less than 24 hours, he said, shut it off. I have too many prospects, like too many people are calling. So, yeah. And then the next step is doing ads for painting houses and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that was one example.
Okay. So, okay. And I want to understand, like, the real bottleneck. Explain to me when you like give me like I read what you wrote, but I want you to explain it to me.
Right. The bottleneck, I think, is it might be because of where I come from or what the type of my real job is.
Mm-hmm.
That I want to be quick and efficient. I have the solutions. I want it to go through right away, and it's going to differentiate me from the other agencies as well.
Mm-hmm.
And once I feel like I can do that be comfortable with all the process in place and all the tools, I know how they work, I can implement it, snap at a finger, go, go, go. Then I feel like I'll be a lot more comfortable mass prospecting, going out during the day, visiting 20, 50 people in person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, it's a simple decision on productizing your services, because if you're willing to do everything for them, for example, run Facebook ads to recruit, and then, you go from website to rep management, it's fine. Right. But, if you have your suite of things that you do and you're doing it for one and you create the SOPs behind it, like, okay, when I onboard them, I need this checklist because these are always the things that I have to ask. And then now it's like when somebody says yes, I just boom, I tag them as customer in the CRM. They automatically get an email that says, hey, fill out this form, and you have your checklist form. They fill it out. You get you know what I'm saying? Like, so you create the SOPs behind your services. And I think right now you're just kind of like, you don't really know, like you're willing to do anything. So it's like, whatever they ask me for, I'm going to do. And because I just want to make money. And then, so you haven't created a process that allows you to, to have an SOP for each one of the services. So like, Jason and I, what we always did was we were like, yeah, rep management, always lead gen, always.
Right.
SEO always. Then we knew if somebody took us up to SEO, we had a form they filled out, and then that form got sent to the white label agency because we didn't do the SEO, right? We did early on in our agencies, but then we white labeled it. Lead gen, Jason ran the ads for lead gen, and he had an onboarding form, fill out all this stuff. I mean, we would get on a Zoom to let him in. They didn't have these kind of tools back then.
Right.
And then we would create the ads. Now, one of the things that we would always run into was our clients were like, oh, can I see the ad? I want to see the ad. I want to see the landing page. And so we would tell people up front, like, we're the marketer, you're the PI lawyer. Let us handle the marketing. You handle closing the clients. Like, we had to like tell them that ahead of time because that would slow us down.
Right.
And then once we would have a PI lawyer, and then we would land another one, whatever we just did for them, we would just do for them. You know what I mean? It was in our product suite. It was the same three things that we did for everybody. So for you, like, it's just a matter of saying, like, I'm going to do these 3 or these 4 services for everybody. And when they choose this service, this is my steps that I have to take. This is my steps that I have to take for this service. And, you know, creating that SOP behind it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because if you're doing it one-off, then, you know, you're just trying to quickly get this done, but then you haven't like documented everything that you took to get there, right?
Yeah, you're right. I had 2 weeks ago, a plumber called me. I followed up and with the offer and everything, and he said, call me as soon as possible. So I called him, and I thought it was going to be for lead gen or reputation management, and he just said, I got 500 spam emails from my website. Can you do something? I'm like, sure.
Right.
So I did something completely different, but that will lead to lead generation next month. But yeah, you're right. I totally say yes. So it's going to be like this, being disciplined and saying no to other stuff.
So I'm a believer in the beginning that you do everything, right? Because when you do, it's just you being disciplined to yourself that says, when I help somebody with spam, you document everything that you did for that. You may never get another client that needs that, right? But you're doing the work anyway, you document it. So if you do lead gen, you document it. If you do SEO, you document it. If you do, you know, if you even building a website, right? Like, I need to know, I need the logo. I need to know the company name. I need to know what do they want on it and things like that. So it's just a matter of like doing the reps and having it suck for a little bit in the beginning, which is fine. But once you go through the suckiness of a process and you document it, you now have the process, it's going to suck a lot less next time you do it.
Stupid question. How did you document it? Just like a point form, what you did?
Yeah, I all my SOPs have been built originally from handwriting things. Like, this is what I do. Like, okay, I got to get a logo. Every time I had a question, every time I needed to ask them for something, oh shit, I forgot to ask for that. Make sure I add this to the document. Oh, I need the logo, but I didn't say transparent logo. So they sent me some block logo with color behind it. And then I would like cross out and say transparent logo. And then I have like a thing that says, I have to look back, but I would have this thing that said, like, what if they don't know what transparent logo means? And then I would say, okay, then I would have to do, take their logo and get it into Canva. So I would have like processes that would just always add on to things like that.
Right. Okay. And did you guys get any objections whenever you said, okay, you're the PI, we're the marketing, we'll take care of that?
Yeah.
And they said, no, we really want to see the ads still?
Yeah. And then we would show it to them, but we would try to push back.
Okay.
Yeah. Some industries have like laws against it. So like PI was probably a bad example that I gave you. Or like mortgage loan officers, they were just afraid of like compliance, but like a contractor probably doesn't really care as much as like a PI lawyer or real estate or mortgages and stuff like that. But like, I mean, listen, you know, when did you come into our program?
Either in May or in June.
Yeah, listen, I talked to people that came in 3 years ago and they haven't landed one client. So first of all, kudos to you for, you know, actually doing the work and paying for something and like getting a return on investment for it. You'd be shocked of how many people do not do that.
I still don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody does. You're not a mentorship student, right?
No.
Okay, so you're just a coaching. Okay.
Yeah, just a coaching.
All right. So I would say documenting all the things that you do. You know, one of the things in the contract, I'll be honest with you, not to add more shininess to this, but like an AI conversational bot is like really especially for contractors, like they love it. Have you talked to any of them about that?
Not yet, because I'm not quite comfortable on how to set it up and how to make it work yet. I've been playing around with it, but
yeah, that's one of the things. I'll have a training on that. I'm almost done with it. That'll be released in the school thing. But like, I mean, just call like, because contractors are always on the job and they're always, you know, and so people, you add a conversational AI onto their website, whatever, and then all you do is drop the URL in to train it, and then it knows everything about the contractor, and then it can ask them questions, and they don't even have to call. Or if they do call, the AI picks up and handles it, and then it could book them on the calendar. It could book them for an estimate. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So what do you do with contractors are the best example for this. Their websites, they don't have that much information.
Yeah. And so the best thing to do with that is like you have like an onboarding form where they're like, tell me everything about your business.
Right.
You know, and if you think about like contractors, like I do kitchen remodeling. That's my number one thing. That's where I rather do that than other things. Like contractors have kind of the things that they love to do rather than like, I don't really do basements because I got to worry about water. Leave that to the basement guys. I like kitchens. I make a lot of money with kitchens. And so like you can add that into the training model of it. And so, yeah, I mean, essentially you say to the contractor, hey, if I would build you a new website, what does the world need to know about you, essentially?
Okay. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
And the last thing is the metrics. Learning, I want to collect data so much just to be able to advertise it and then show it to clients. I know I love GoHighLevel. There's a few metrics there, but is there any other tool that you would use, or how would you go about collecting as much data as possible, like for the CAC and the LTV and the Facebook ad performance? I just noticed this week that GoHighLevel has the Facebook ad manager integrated in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably better, but yeah, I'm just trying to see all the data I could collect to make business decisions and show my clients and advertise and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, GoHighLevel has a lot of that stuff in there.
Yeah.
You know, Facebook, it's going to have, I mean, the best way really when you're running ads for clients, you know what you spent and they have to tell you what they made ultimately. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you an example. If I'm running ads for a local kitchen remodeler, right? And I know, because I could see it in the CRM in the sub account, that I've collected 50 leads for them in the last 7 days. Okay.
Right.
And I spent $300. Okay. It's $60 a lead. Now, after that, I don't care cost per click, essentially, if you think about it, because I know that the number one, Facebook will get better at showing it so it always gets better, right?
Right. Yeah.
And so in the beginning, you're always going to spend more, let's say just per lead or per click. And then it starts to learn as long as you're targeting like that local area. And then you don't know. Now, you mean you're talking about running ads for your clients, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even for myself later on in the future.
Yeah. So for yourself, you'll be able to do it because you'll know, like, all right, I landed $1,000 a month client and it cost me, you know, I only landed one this month and it cost me $500.
Right.
You would kind of just know that. But for your clients, they just have to be completely upfront with you of like, how many estimates did I get? How many closed deals did I land? and then how much, how much did they make ultimately? Like, what was the job value? And you can, and sometimes they'll be a little hesitant, but ultimately what you want to do is kind of tell them like, look, not to get into the weeds, but when running lead generation, for your business, it's extremely important that I add the values of these jobs. So then Facebook or Google will deliver more people to me based on like how much those leads basically are worth. And the only way to do that is if I input the amount of money, right? Because you're going to assign values.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're gonna be like, oh, if they know that telling you the truth of what they're landing is going to yield them better and more leads, then they're going to tell you.
You get like a similar audience type of thing.
Correct. Right. So you say, hey, in order for me to keep getting good leads, I need to give the data to Facebook and Google. And the only way to do that is to assign a monetary value to the leads that are coming in.
I like that.
Because sometimes they're afraid to tell you.
Yeah.
Like, I landed a $60,000 home remodeling job for your leads because they're like, oh shit, I'm afraid he's going to charge me more money.
Right.
Yeah. So, you can just kind of be upfront with them about that. Okay. But there's not a lot of data that you really need. Cost per click, cost to acquire, which you'll know if they tell you, cost per lead. Sometimes people get lost in the KPIs and they'll shut things off when they shouldn't even shut things off. So sometimes you can kind of like screw yourself too.
Right. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. What else did you say? I think so. Yeah. So I think really I think ultimately, like, are you getting results with lead gen with your clients?
Well, yeah, I didn't get to do a lot of it yet, except for the recruiting. I did some for another caterer, which he shut it off just because he didn't. Just because the type of cheese that was in the picture that was getting crazy results like within an hour wasn't exactly the type of cheese he was selling or something like that.
Oh shit!
But yeah. He was his partner texted me after and apologized because it was a very control thing. But yeah, no, I think so far so good. And like just for recruiting, which is not something that we learn really specifically on in the LMB. Within 24 hours, he wanted me to.
Did he hire somebody from that?
Yes.
Nice
people. Yeah.
And that was just a local Facebook ad.
Local Facebook ad, yeah.
Yeah, I'll never understand why agencies like which you said you will running local ads for your own agency. I mean, it works so well.
Yeah.
And once you get your SOPs in place and you feel comfortable, you'll see like you'll get a ton of inbound book calls.
Man, SOPs.
Yeah. They're a pain in the ass. I hated doing them.
No, but it makes a lot of sense. And from my world, that's what we work with. That's what we create. That's what I've created in the past. And it didn't click that I should. Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise you skip steps. You got to go back and you're like, why does this take forever? And now it's just like, boom, checklist. And not every agency has the exact same SOP. So that's why, we don't really, say, hey, just use this one, because everybody does things differently. Their whole process is different. And everybody thinks differently, right? They rather do X, Y, and Z first. Other people rather do Y, Z, and L first and things like that. So
no, that makes total sense. I love it.
Sweet. So then I'm going to check back in with you for the next in the next 60 days to make sure that you created them.
Okay. It'll be done next week.
Yeah, sweet. Now, you got anything else? You've got 2 minutes.
Yes, man. It's a pleasure to meet you. It's a bit weird because I've been following your YouTube for a while. That's how I learned about LMB, and it's like you're this persona on the internet, and just getting to talk to you is awesome. Just want to say a big thank you to you and Jason, for real. It just I was looking forever for something that made sense to do on the side, and I was hesitant at first to sign up, had a call with Kelsey, and
Yeah.
it all just made sense. You just do the work. You guys got a great community. It's just awesome. So I
Well,
appreciate it.
we appreciate students like you who actually do the work and get results, because a lot of people just decide, you know, they pay for it and then they don't want to do anything, and it just, like you said, it's just to this day shocks me. I'll never understand.
No,
But
me either. And I feel like I've been doing this, like I've been working like every day, literally on it, but I still feel like I'm doing it part time. So just because I'm hesitant, but then with the SOP and everything, it really speaks to my language. I think
yeah. Listen, you become more competent when you have the structure, which creates the confidence.
Yeah.
Which then just is going to allow you to go buck wild, and then you'll just, you know, land client after client.
Yeah. That's the goal.
Awesome. Well,
right.
keep me informed, and I appreciate you letting me do the hot seat.
Yeah, you got it. Thanks for taking the time. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. I appreciate it, man. We'll talk soon, okay?
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Talk soon. Bye.